Oh, Mike, I'm at a new level of grumpiness. Have you ever fallen in a way that you hurt yourself and there were other people around you and they just didn't know how to react because you looked like a fool falling?
whether to laugh or to, are you okay?
Yeah, I did that. I tripped on a gate today. We have a dog gate kind of that we have in the house. It protects our garbage from our dog. I had leaned it against a wall. Later on in the day, I walked towards it and it decided to fall at that moment. And I tried to avoid it by moving my body in a way that shouldn't be moved, like just twisting and
Yeah, all
everything.
Matrix.
And then I ended up just stepping on it anyway, and then twisting some more. And being old, old, pulled a
This might be
muscle,
broken bones and hips.
right? This is how it goes.
Yeah, this is where it all begins.
Yeah.
This is the end, everybody. Good seeing you. Bye.
And that's the story of my grumpiness.
Yeah.
You're listening to And This Is Why I Love Comics.
Andy and Mike!
Continue to kick you while you're down if you want.
And welcome to another episode of And This Is Why I Love Comics. I'm Andy.
And I'm Mike.
And happy Halloween to you. Spookiness happens. We've been talking for the last hour and 23 minutes, and I'm finally doing the intro. So welcome. You'll hear what we were talking about on this episode. If I sound tired, it's because it's really late and we've been talking for a while, and we haven't even talked about the book yet.
Not at no least.
Instead, we're talking about, Kickstarters and answering questions and why I'm grumpy. And I'm still grumpy. I'm tired of grumpy.
The mystery hasn't really been solved with that one.
Right. And, how maybe all of Mike's voice has been erased the last 10 minutes. And
there's a strong potential.
Strong potential where I'm just talking to myself. I'm going to have a puppet on my right hand and just kind of.
What do you think, Smiley?
Yeah. What do you think, sirs? Push the button, Frank. And just kind of do that.
Well, I've got a series of questions for you since you bamboozled me last time with this series. I will.
Yeah.
So I have 30 for you.
All right.
Some are going to be good, and some will be like, don't know what you're trying for there. So I'm going to give you a softball one to get things started.
All right. You're prepared for some grumpy answers, though, right?
Oh, yeah. This makes it even better.
I mean, this is the Halloween episode.
Yeah. And there are a few that you could almost construe as being Halloween related. So, first question, like I said, super, super softball. You really, really love Spider-Man.
No, I don't. No, I don't. Now, there are times I like Spider-Man, and I thought his black costume was cool. But in general, the character annoys me, and I just would rather read something else almost every time. But
I like here's legal information from your bank,
right?
Or a Spider-Man comic.
Yeah, let's see what the bank's talking about.
There could be something interesting there. The name of your oldest child is really number one son, based off of your love of Murder by Death.
True. I mean, yes, that is absolutely correct. My love for Murder by Death supersedes everything else in my life. And number one son was around just at the right moment for me to name him that. Now, I couldn't legally name him that because the ex-wife wouldn't let me. But, in my head, that is his name.
Here we go. Next one. Batman works alone and should not have a sidekick.
No. I think Batman needs a sidekick. What he doesn't need is 20 sidekicks.
Yeah. In his 5 years of fighting crime, he's somehow managed to not only have multiple sidekicks, but one that he sired himself and raised to the age of 10 in the 5-year span that he's been fighting crime.
Yeah. Let's trim it to Dick Grayson, the first Robin. I'm okay with Tim Drake, second Robin. And I mean, if I have to have,
Jason Todd was in there as a second.
yeah, you're right. I mean, in my fictional world, he could be the second Robin.
Got it. It's
and
like
then
number 2.
And then Damien, fine, whatever. But that's it. 3. That's it. That's all you need. We don't need any more Robins. Pick something else.
Yeah. I mean, they should. What do you think? Should they? This is not an official question, but to kind of piggyback off of that, should they all be named Robin, or are there other bird-related ones like Sparrow or Dove or
Lark?
But Pigeon.
Right, Pigeon. I think would work. Red-tailed blackbird.
What was it, like booby-headed finch or something like that?
Yeah, right. Hummingbird. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Could have had the whole like.
It makes as much sense as Robin. At least pick some predatory birds.
Vultures. Next one. If your comic collection was booze, would you say it is more like beer than wine? I know that's not quite a yes or no, but you say it's more beer than wine.
My comic collection is certainly more beer than wine. Yes, I agree on that.
Okay.
It lacks some finesse that wine would have. It's a little more raw. I don't have any, CGC'd books whatsoever. So
yeah, you're not like
dark beer. Yeah, it's a dark beer, but it's a beer.
Yeah. Well, it might be an IPA,
Right?
It's still a beer, people. It's a microbrew. If someone asked you to run a marathon right now, even if it is at gunpoint, could you do it?
When you say marathon, is that to the gas station? I have one down the street. We could probably do that, but an actual marathon, I would probably make it about a mile before collapsing. I wish I could say I could, but in my current high cholesterol, slightly overweight, trying to lose weight status, no, I could not do a marathon. I couldn't do a half marathon.
Yeah. So no 26.2 or 13.1 stickers on the back of your car?
There's not even a 3,
Yeah, he couldn't even get the 0.1.
Right, yeah.
On a lighter note, were you able to avoid being found out as a mass murderer?
I can't really talk about it right now. The witness protection program does not allow me to mention
all the documents
previous.
Have not been gone over yet.
Right. So no comment.
In the world of role-playing games, you like to GM more than you like to be a player.
Yeah, that's true. I do like to GM. Yes, I do. I think a lot of that is because early on I had to DM because no one else was willing to.
I don't know how games work, but I know how to make a character.
The storyteller in me likes to tell the story rather than react to it, yeah.
Your comic collection catches fire, and you can only save one issue. It would be Savage Dragon number 3.
Let's see. Do I have that one signed? No, I don't. I probably would have to say no way. No.
Not, where would you put a Savage Dragon on your list? Like, would you use that to keep the fire going?
Right, yeah. I would have if that is in my collection, I've started that fire. And
I'm trying to remember. I don't think I bought anything. Like, I bought, like, when Image came out, I was buying all the number ones. I think I even went as far as buying Shadowhawk number one. And then after all the number ones kind of had their, like, okay, that was good. And then you waited months for a number two, if there was going to be a number two. And it was like, yeah, I'm kind of done. So I don't think there was more that I picked up beyond issue one when the whole Image thing started.
yeah, that's the only issue I have signed is number one.
Yeah, I think that's on mine as well.
I know I owned at some point the first miniseries, and I started getting the ongoing, which is still ongoing, by the way. And
Yeah, I give him full accolades for being the only one of the Image creators that actually stuck to his guns and
right,
did
yeah,
what they all claimed that they were going to do. It's like, it's going to be creator owned and we're going to make our own books our own way. And then almost immediately it was like, can somebody come over and do my book for me, please?
right, yeah, yeah. All props to Eric Larson. Nice job. Didn't the Turtles show up on one of those issues? I've since lost all my Savage Dragon except issue one. I mean, lost as in probably sold them, but that fire doesn't exist because that book doesn't exist in my collection.
So in an alternative universe, it might be, though.
Right. It does make me wonder which one would I save? You know, would I do a George Perez signed one? I don't know which one I would save if I had to. It'd probably be, it'd have to be something signed because that'd be the only thing I couldn't get back, you know?
Yeah.
I do have a Justice League 200, which is my favorite comic I own. I love the story, and when I see them in dollar bins, I pick them up. I do have that signed by George, so I probably would grab that one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think I've got like a Gil Kane signed Green Lantern. I can't remember. I can't really think of anything else. And it's like, I've got to get that one out of the the fire.
Yeah.
That would be a tough one to kind of like go, which particular one?
By that time, you're dead.
Yeah, decisions. You're sitting there, there's fire all around. You're like, this was a good one. Let me sit down and page through this one.
It's getting hot.
It's getting a little hot, a little sweaty. But next question. You would rather be the oldest of your siblings than the youngest?
Nope. I'm happy to be the youngest. No way.
Little baby Andy.
Right?
He's the baby of the family.
As much as I got picked on, I also was spoiled, and so I had the best of both worlds. I was strangely enough the oldest of my fathers and the youngest of the family. So it was just like,
yeah, true. You kind of have a duality there.
Yep. So I got the best of both worlds.
Next one is a little bit more deeper and more touching to the soul.
Pass.
Your favorite holiday is Arbor Day.
It's on my list of.
It's on your calendar somewhere.
On my calendar, coincidentally. So it must be important, right?
Yeah.
Heck no! My favorite holiday is Cinco de Mayo.
Hey. Coincidental?
Coincidental, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I have a question that will relate to that down the road. You only cosplay in costumes if they're super revealing.
That is absolutely true. I'm trying to think of my favorite cosplay that I have.
Your Slave Leia?
My Slave Leia. I like the Wolverine in just his undies.
Yeah.
Of course,
Your Power Girl with the heavy
Power
cleavage in the
Girl.
front.
Yep, my Hawkeye injustice on these.
Yeah, this is his Hawkeye from his
Yeah.
debut issue.
Let's see what other thing did we read just as on these? Any of those costumes are great. Yeah,
Yeah. You have Googled yourself multiple times.
that's a good question. I have Googled myself. I mean, who hasn't? I mean,
Yeah.
right when you hit puberty, you Google yourself all the time, right?
Yeah, until your arm gets tired. Sorry.
Yeah, there's a joke with George Carlin about how you're told you'll go blind if you Google yourself too much, and then once he hit 1,000 that next day, he was really concerned about it.
Got to 999, and I was like, "Oh no, what am I going to do? It's been 24 hours."
Google, yes, I've Googled myself and not embarrassed. How's that?
Hey, back to the comic collections. You have a comic or two that you would be embarrassed if your wife or kids found it.
Yes, true. Yes.
We won't say which ones.
Nope.
So they might be listening down the road.
We'll review it on the podcast eventually.
Yep. There'll be some Patreon content for that.
Right, yeah.
You find that you can only write on a computer and no longer on paper.
That is absolutely true. I mean, I have a pad of paper, but other than jotting notes, I can't form full sentences on anything but a computer.
Yeah. I will say there's something about being able to edit and go back and then just kind of like jumble things together and just throw your ideas randomly, and then eventually it kind of like bridges those jumbled notes here, and here's a bridge, and now I got a whole section completed where you couldn't do that on a piece of paper.
Yeah, cutting and pasting is a lot easier on one format and then the other.
Oh yeah.
Where you're literally cutting and pasting.
I'm going to take this excerpt and I'm good.
Right.
Your favorite innovation in all role-playing history is Dungeons & Dragons Thack Zero.
Ooh. Now you're getting nasty. No, my favorite innovation was when HeroQuest got a digital app that you can run through by yourself, and you can run the new HeroQuest adventures anytime you want.
Yep. You don't need the person behind the curtain, so to speak, to run it.
Now, have I done it? No, I have not done that.
But it's there. No. The possibilities there.
It's possible. Can.
Yeah. Nothing's holding us back.
Right.
Just don't choose not to. Okay, we've crossed the halfway point.
Oh, that was only half? I was thinking, we got like 3 more questions.
No. You said you had 30. I've got 30. So here's some more to hit you up if you're up for the next round.
Let's do it.
Okay. While being Italian, you really prefer Mexican food.
That is very true. Yep.
It goes back to your Cinco de Mayo.
Right. Yeah. If there's a choice between an Italian restaurant and a Mexican, I'm picking the Mexican because it's good. Italian food, it's good.
Oh yeah.
But it's nothing like Grandma used to make.
Yeah. Now, are you ever disturbed? But at the same point, the food, you like it so much, it doesn't matter. But are you ever disturbed by how quickly a Mexican restaurant can bring your meals to you?
They just have it.
You cook the meat already to that level, and you had all this stuff prepped. I mean, is it like in vats that you've had for days, or is this like how is it they can compressed time get that meal to you that quickly.
I mean, I don't care. I don't care what they do with it when I don't see it. As long as it tastes good. We have down our street, we have a authentic Mexican place called Mega Tacos.
Sounds like one.
And, they know me by name there. I go there and use my name.
That kind of helps, I guess.
No, it's so good. It's so delicious.
Yeah. I mean, nothing says authentic like when they put El Taco in the name of that.
The Mega
Taco. In high school, you developed and nurtured having an arch enemy.
Yeah, then I did a podcast with him.
Oh!
Boom! No,
What? That's some fighting words.
Right?
Keep your friends close and your enemies close.
Right?
I do a podcast with them.
I plotted out a lot of my high school years.
As we all should.
And, we just had a reunion that we could have gone to.
Really?
Yeah. You're still not on the list, huh?
It's surprising. I think the high school is under the assumption that I'm dead.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that didn't help when I told them you were dead, but
that might have led to that assumption.
Might have. But yeah, they just had 2 weekends ago, I think it was. They had, I don't know, was it 35? Something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Dang, and I didn't go because, I mean, I don't know. For one, everybody I want to talk to, I do talk to. It's like, I don't wonder. And then you got Facebook and all the people that I'm interested in, how they're doing on Facebook, I'm friends with. And I'm not interested in anybody else. So it's like, yeah, I'm good. Like, even when I see people I know in person, like briefly, like we're shopping or something, and I walk by them, the only thing I say is, "Hi, how's it going?" And then I move on. Like, you're still alive? Great. Me too. High five. Move on.
We did it. We succeeded.
Yep.
We beat the odds.
There's some people I like more now than I did then. I stayed friends with everybody I wanted to stay friends with.
Yeah. Because I was kind of thinking about it. It's like, I remember there was people we hung out with, and it's like, what was their name? I don't remember. Okay. We've obviously moved on to other things. Right. Life gets in the way. Why look back and go oh, high school. I got to get back with those people that I haven't talked to in 35 years. Got to do it now.
I wasn't popular or anything, I was middle, low class. I wasn't terrible, but I wasn't super popular or even semi-popular or popular. I didn't fit any of those.
Yeah, the check boxes of whatever group. It was kind of like, when they would call out different groups of individuals. And it's like, here's the jocks, here's the the shop kids, here's the
greasers,
and it's like, and here's the rest.
Right. Yeah.
Comfortably in that bucket.
Being a nerd wasn't super cool back then, No,
not in the least.
And I'm okay with I'm not playing a violin. I'm okay with where I was at. I'm, whatever. Don't care.
Got us to where we're at now. But I wouldn't say that was the defining. It's like,
right.
I
didn't peak.
We made or the friends.
Yeah.
That the entire school rallied around. It's like we're not in a John Hughes film. No one's. It's like we got through the school, we did okay, we passed the grades, and moved on.
Did what I wanted to do.
Yeah, I'm thinking the only intent that I could see why anybody would go to one of those is to, one, gloat about their own success, or then two, gloat about the failures of others that are there. It's like, you're not this person. Oh man, look at you. You lost your hair. Oh, look at you. You've gained so much weight. Oh, look at you.
Right.
Or,
you own your own company now. Well, good job. Like
super
successful.
So great. It's kind of like what's going to happen. I mean, it's not like we're networking and looking for like, hey, I brought my resume. You want to sit down and chat about, or it's like, have you heard about the wonders of Amway products?
Right. Yeah.
There's no way that's going to be like, what's the point? I just wonder, like, what would be the attendance at something at this point?
Yeah, I don't know. We had a big class, and it looked like, maybe 50 people went. So wasn't our full class, that's for sure.
No.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad people are seeing old friends, but what was the question again? I don't understand.
Yeah. We can move to the next one.
Yeah, okay. Phew.
Every comic you read makes you want to write for comics even more.
No, that's not. Now, do I sometimes think I could do a better job? Yep. Do I think I wish I could write a comic? Yep. But reading current comics does not make me want to join or to have that career. I just I don't think I would enjoy current comic writing, at least like working for the big two or whatever.
Yeah.
If it was, if it was our own title or something like that, sure, that'd be fun, But I have no desire to write a Superman comic. The only thing I would want to do is, like revive the Legion of Superheroes to where people can actually read it again. Bendis. But other than that, I don't have a desire to write for DC or something. I just think sure, it'd be great on the resume. I'd go to a class reunion for that.
Yeah. What are you doing these days, Andy?
I'm writing for Superman. Thank you very much.
Yep.
And then they go, nerd. And then, then they laugh at me again, just like the old times.
Yeah. Oddly enough, like still, like the biggest moneymakers in cinematic history have been these very things. It's like, yep. That's where the money's at.
Yeah. Now, if they called me tomorrow and said, hey, we want you to write something, I wouldn't turn it down. But,
would there be a book that you would say, no, I'm good?
Savage Dragon. No, I mean, I have no interest in writing a regular Batman title, or I don't have a new Batman story to tell in current continuity kind of thing. Like I just, it's all been done, and anything I would do would be not as good, or it would totally radically change everything, which is what people do anyway when they don't have any other ideas.
Yeah,
but my fun would be taking a character that no one really likes and trying to make people like them. That like something challenging, but then it'd be canceled within 6 issues, and because only Batman titles sell.
Yeah. Well, what if it was like Batman's friend, and then it's an issue that has nothing to do with Batman,
right? Yeah,
but it's just the title, Batman's friend. And you fill it in below. It's like Batman's friend, Dial H for Hero. Batman's friend, Blue Devil. Batman's friend.
And that I could do.
Titles. You're all set.
I would do that, yeah.
There was a cartoon series. I don't remember what era it was from, like in the 50s or 60s, but it was like Dick Tracy cartoons. And it was Dick Tracy in name only. He showed up at the beginning of the cartoon going like, oh, we've got a crime going on. I better call. And he'd throw out some random cartoon character, like a Morocco mole or something like that. And he'll stop my villains. And that was it.
Jay Whoopi.
That was all that Dick Tracy was involved in.
Superman's friend, Jimmy Olsen.
For 2 seconds. You are a bigger Star Trek fan than you let people believe.
Yeah, that's probably true. I do like me some Star Trek, but I'm very picky on my Star Trek because a lot of it junk. But I do like some, next gen, some I even like some of the newer stuff, so I'm not too picky.
Yeah. If you like the newer stuff, yeah, you can't be that considered picky.
Right. So, yeah, that's probably true. I certainly know more than I let on.
Yeah. Well,
And
I mean, it's like you kind of like the secret fan come to the show at night when under the cover of darkness.
absolutely.
We'll talk about Star Trek later.
Right. We haven't had a Star Trek episode, have we?
No, we haven't. Or yeah, we did do Star Wars. You've been to several sporting events hoping that they would show you on the Kiss Cam Jumbotron in order that it would allow you to kiss a stranger.
I've been to a Tigers game.
Mhm.
I've been to Red Wings game.
Mhm.
Been to local games, the Griffins and
Whitecaps.
Whitecaps. Yeah, love them. Don't go enough. I would do more if I could. Never been to a Lions game, and I'd do that in a second if I could. But I've never wanted to be on the jumbotron. I'd rather not be seen, and I'm part celebrity, so that would just cause a lot of problems.
Yeah, I don't want to draw too much attention to you.
Right. I'd rather just low key it.
Yeah, don't want to distract the players.
Right.
Especially.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to take from the fun of the game and
Well, yeah, well, that's very noble of you. I mean, those are good intents. Well, believe it or not, we made it into the final third. Galactus could eat Darkseid's planet Apocalypse.
Darkseid could eat Galactus's planet.
However you want to phrase it.
Right.
You think that Galactus could take out Darkseid and eat his planet?
Well, I mean, we do have another New Gods book we're reading for this evening. Boy, that is a tough one. I mean, in my heart of hearts, I would like to think that Galactus would beat Darkseid. But having read John Byrne's take on Galactus,
Yeah.
and Secret Wars Galactus, I only see that he gets beat up all the time and loses, and
He's such a loser.
he never seems to get the planet Earth, and I don't understand it. I mean, he could just sneak in one day and eat it, right? I mean, does it have to be a big deal?
Well, they did do, I believe, a crossover that Byrne had done called The Hunger or something like that. And it was Galactus meeting Darkseid. Yeah, I don't own the issue, so it would be interesting. At some point, it might lead to one of these books we read.
Especially if it's John Byrne, winner of the Babe Brackets of 2024.
Yep. Although I think everybody voted in 23. Just kidding.
Yeah, probably 22. I don't know.
Yeah, it felt like it. When editing the podcast, you mutter under your breath how much you wish Mike would just shut up and stay on topic.
Editing? Who does that?
Yeah.
You're on the wrong premise there, buddy.
What is this editing you speak of?
No, usually when I'm editing, it's more like, why does Andy say so much? And what are these long pauses all the time from both of us that make it so our episode's only a half hour instead of, we talk 2 hours and stuff like that, but.
Well, if somebody took all the that are set up between us, they would find out that there is a secret code that you can decipher.
Right. If you count how many, it's actually GPS coordinates where the treasure is.
Yeah. take the first episode. Okay, that's going to give us our latitude and then our longitude, and you're all set. The Flash should always be faster than any other speedster character, even the Black Racer.
Well, that would have to be Wally West then, because that's my Flash. Barry died in the Crisis, and he hasn't returned, as far as I'm concerned. He certainly should be faster than Superman. For as much as I love the Flash, and I do, I've collected him over many years, except current issues, and as much as I love the stories that had the Speed Force in it, I think once they did the Speed Force, Mark Waid, it kind of became all-encompassing and just took over every story that was ever done with the Flash. And so I don't enjoy the Speed Force, which supposedly gives Wally West incredible speed and power, and and so yeah, I don't know. I'm just jibber jabbering now. I guess I agree with that. So yes, that's my short answer is yes, but enough Speed Force.
Yeah.
I didn't need a definition of why he was fast.
Yep.
He just was.
That's it. He had chemicals and lightning hit him.
Right. I don't need another dimension that provides him the speed. I mean, what's next? The Atom has the atomic force, and that's why he can shrink. And I just don't need it.
Yep.
I don't need it.
No, it's just an added layer of complexity that just kind of like actually limits the character more than it expands.
Right.
It's like,
and it's like, all the colorful lanterns and stuff. It's a great story until it's not. And then it's just cumbersome garbage.
Yeah.
What do I know?
Feel that there's too many Flash or Speedster characters anyway.
Right. Just like Robin's.
Yeah. Yeah. There's just like the whole point is that he's super fast. It's like, yep, got it. What is some other character going to do to separate themselves? Like, I'm really fast, but I have an attitude. Or I'm really fast, and yet I'm slightly overweight. It's like, the whole gimmick is that you're really fast. And there's not a whole lot more that you can bring to the table other than that. It's like, yeah, I'm fast enough to run on water. I'm fast enough to run up a wall. I'm fast enough. They all can do that. So what makes one fast person different than another fast person, especially when you have that many? It just kind of blurs. No pun intended.
The blur.
You have been mugged.
I've been mugged?
Yep. Have you been mugged?
Oh, have I been mugged? I didn't hear the have. You just told me I've been mugged, and I'm like, okay. Are we role playing here? What weapons do I have?
Your saved Constitution or whatever.
Am I in the trunk?
Yeah. You have no weapons. It's all dark.
No, I have never been mugged. Thankfully.
You still think that John Byrne should not have won Babe, even though that ironically he created a comic series called Babe.
Wow, I never thought of that. I just said again. I just did again.
You can't shake it.
No, I think he's okay winning it. I do understand why people chose him rather than my pal and friend George Perez. I don't agree, but I understand. And I like John Byrne as an artist.
You may not have dinner with him or anything, but...
Oh, I would. Just once.
Just asking questions like, what the heck is up with?
Yeah. What happened?
Yeah. Did you think that was really a clever idea or lazy when he did that Alpha Flight issue and it was like Snowblind or something like that? It had several pages of nothing but word balloons because there's such a whiteout going on.
I think it was a great gimmick, just like those issues where there's no words. So the writer doesn't have to write any dialogue whatsoever, and it's all on the artist,
I'll let you carry this one for a month. How's that?
Yeah, I want to do a whole series like that, just no words.
It's a Marseille story.
Right, yep, exactly.
Perfect.
Stop bringing up times.
In your heart of hearts, you believe that a hot dog is a sandwich.
A hot dog is a sandwich. It is. It's got meat. It's got layers. It's got buns. Just because of the buns, it's still bread.
It's not cut all the way through.
Absolutely. A hamburger is a sandwich. A hot dog is a sandwich.
So would a taco be considered a sandwich if you're using the same kind of logic?
No, because there's no bread. No bread, no sandwich.
The shell to be some semblance of bread?
No. It's delicious. We just talked about Mexican. But no, it is not a sandwich.
Ooh. Okay, we're down to the final four.
Ooh, we still got a book to talk about.
I know. I was looking at that. It's like, oh crap, we gotta hurry. You still have that poster of Heather Thomas.
Let me think if I do. I do not have that poster anymore. However, my wife a couple of years ago found a puzzle that was of the same poster. Now, I've never actually put it together, but we do have that in the house.
Yeah. Just going to work on the puzzle.
Right, I gotta work on the puzzle.
Yeah. Why in the bathroom so long, Andy?
I'm working on the puzzle. I'm trying to find this piece.
Secretly, you still have a craving to eat crayons and or school paste.
No, I don't think I ever did that. What I did do as a young child, maybe 3 or 4, was eat dog food.
Oh.
And ever since then, my coat has been very nice. And
yeah, it's got a lot of bounce and pep to it.
Right. I have fond memories of liking it. I've never tried it since, but I do think should the zombie apocalypse come, I'm just gonna eat dog food, and I'll be fine.
Alpo, get your choice, select ones.
Right. I'll have some clean teeth.
My elementary school was never really meant to be like the ongoing school. It was one of the few that the school district wound up closing just because it was like, yeah, we don't need that many elementary schools. So regardless, it was ancient. It was out of date. Everything that could be wrong with the school was what was wrong with this school. And it was old enough that it still had those like boiler registers, like the upright heat radiating that you'd send the boiling water through. Inevitably, some child throughout the winter would throw a crayon on it, and it would just melt almost instantly. And the smell of melting crayon, I always associate that with like the holidays. Don't know. It was just because it was like, it was cold, it was winter, and some kid would throw it on there right before the holiday break, and they'd be yelled at. It's like, how hard it is to get that off this radiator, and how hard you can't, throw crayons on there. And it's just like, inevitably some child would bloop and just watch it melt, and it filled the whole room. And it was right next to the kid. So it's like, oh, that wasn't me. And it's like, clearly, this crayon is melting within 7 inches of you. Since doing this podcast, you have read more comics in the last 3 years than you have in the last 10.
I would say that is true. Yes, I have.
Yeah, I'm going to say that would be the same on my end, too. As much as I love comics, it's like, man, I've been reading comics lately for this podcast, and I don't think I've been reading them, to the voracious level. And the last one to wrap it all up, it only took an hour to do so. Here we go. You still harbor resentment that I never completed my note on the back of the senior photo I gave you.
Have you been reading my diary?
Yeah, I met a boy today. His name is Tom.
True. Still do.
But it's pretty much sums it up, though, the way it is.
Yeah, it does.
AJP? Nothing.
That's it.
Yeah, do they still do that? I mean, my daughter and son got senior photos, and they handed a few out, but they didn't come back with stacks of them from friends, and their friends really didn't do it. And it's like, what? Huh. Okay.
Do they still do? I guess they do.
Because going back to the earlier question, number one son.
Right, my number one son
made his way out.
I can't say they do it like we did.
Yeah.
Especially with modern technology, it's not really goodbye. It's
true.
At your 35-year reunion.
Went from zero to hero. Those
right.
Sally Jesse Raphael episode. Yeah, I kind of there are some traditions that I'm kind of glad have gone away, and then some new ones that I'm like, oh boy, because senior skip day was kind of like, wow, we're all rebels today because we've all taken the official skip day off. And then what was it called in where a parent would take your day at the school?
Bring your parent to school day.
Yeah, it was pretty much. I mean, yeah, it wasn't anything dramatically named, but yeah, it was a deal where your parent would switch places. It was like Freaky Friday, but without the Disney influence.
I don't think that happens anymore. I don't think parents can afford
it. Yeah. I think my mom had done it once. And I think it was in high school. I don't think now it's probably a safety concern. It's like,
well, that's true.
You can't have some strangers walk around the school unrecognized people.
Because I do stuff at the school, I need, they did a criminal report on, check your background check and all that stuff. So, they probably don't just let any parent in anymore. Yeah, you got to be cool for school.
Yeah. So, Andy, that was the 30 I threw together. Hopefully, you can salvage something from that.
I'm doing a whole episode just on this. What are you talking about? I got another Kickstarter. I don't know. I got my Maladum, the battle systems Kickstarter that I did 2 years ago. I got that. I got that in the mail a week ago.
Oh, brilliant.
It's so cool.
Because I'm still waiting for mine from the Marvel United Kickstarter that I funded last March. And it was supposed to arrive in February. And everybody's got it. And even the retail store has it. I do not.
You might want to.
There's debate as to whether it will be a 2025 arrival.
What? How is that? You've contacted them and they said, sorry, we forgot you?
No, it's just they had done such a bad job. This is the first time I've ever been in this is a horrific shipping situation. They did such a bad job that, it's one thing if you delayed and it's sorry, we're not able, shipping's taking a while, or, just we're not able to get it produced, or we're waiting for the quality to be better or whatever. That would be fine. But they butchered the shipping of this Marvel United so badly that some people were getting other people's pledges,
Oh,
and then they would just say, "Please don't open them. We'll send you something so you can send that back, and then we'll give it to the right person." And it's like, you're kidding, right? I mean, like, not that people. I'm not trying to say the worst of people, but if you only bought one item and they gave you the entire, like, the all-in package,
right, yeah.
and they're like, "Oh, don't open that. We don't know who got what. We have no idea what anybody has. So just don't open. Let us know which ones you got if you didn't get what you specifically ordered." And I was like, "I got the all-in? Guess what? I'm all in."
Right, yeah.
It's like the expectation that the honor system was going to be used so strongly here that people would do that. I'm like, well, that'd be great. Honestly, that'd be fantastic if people were like that. But I just don't see it happening.
Yeah.
So that was part
people
one.
aren't like that.
Yeah. And then part two, they decided to ship it out of two parts of the United States, and no one knows what part of the United States that they are, because they just said United States West Coast, United States East Coast. And if you're in the middle of the United States, it's like, well, does the West Coast cover up to the Rocky Mountains? And then everything else is considered East Coast? There's like people in Missouri who are posting like, I don't know which one I belong to. And the West Coast, everybody's got their stuff.
Ah.
And in fact, everybody has it for such a degree that you can get it on Amazon at a discount. And I still don't have mine.
That's how I got mine.
And yeah, it has your name on it too. So I mean, when I hear like you saying that you got your Kickstarter, I'm like, oh man, it's always a plus. But I mean, this I'm at a point where this is now entertainment. That's the only thing I can get out of it is like I go to Marvel United on Kickstarter. You go into their like updates, and for the last basically since March, when they were like, yeah, things are going to be a little late. You're going to get the stuff in April. It's going to be a little late. You're going to get your stuff in May, June, July, August, September. And they started rolling things out in September. And they're like, we've got containers in port in the West Coast. You're going to get your stuff. If you're on the East Coast, it's going to be another month. And then they're like, well, we didn't get the containers that we thought we were getting, and so it's going to be another month. And you'll get your stuff, but it's just, and they just keep pushing it out. And, but to my part of the entertainment is they post like, Simon Games, they post, hey, everybody, here's the update. And they do it like once a month. And it is hundreds and hundreds of comments about, this is the worst thing ever. And it's like, you've just, you've basically murdered my hopes in humanity. And it's a show.
So it's not just you though.
No, I'm not the only one. But everybody that's like, there's quite a few people who's like, I'm going to be the last person to receive my order. And then the next person down says, I'm going to be the last person. So people are fighting over who's going to be the last to receive the orders. And it's gotten just completely out of hand because of how poorly this is managed. Now people are like, I don't know if I'm going to get mine. And then, people are like, I went to my brick and mortar store and they've got 3 copies of what I ordered. And they're just down the road from me. Why did they get theirs a month, 2 months, 3 months before I've gotten even a notice that mine's coming in the mail? And I'm the one who's funded the Kickstarter. Now, granted, that brick and mortar, they also funded the Kickstarter, and they funded it to buy multiple sets. That's what some people kind of forget to add to the equation. But it's still pretty dang hilarious, though. But was yours late, or was it just it took that long for them to develop and get it out the door?
I wouldn't say that they were late. It took the shipping probably took a little longer, and they tried to do a couple different things and tried a couple different techniques that kind of didn't work out, so they went back to their original stuff. So it was a little later than normal, but not terribly. I didn't think I wouldn't get it or anything like that, because I've now done 2 Kickstarters with them, or 2 or 3, and they produced each one pretty much on time, give or take a couple months. I think there's still parts of the world that haven't got theirs yet. I mean, it was a good month and a half of me watching other people in like Australia and because they're based in Europe. Other people were getting it before the U.S.
No, this was the same game setup materials that your dog ate. Is that the right one?
Oh, that is true. Yeah, the last Kickstarter that I got from them, Core Space, I think it was Firstborn. Yeah, I started putting together one of the pieces, and our new puppy back then grabbed a piece that I just dropped on the floor, regurgitated it up, and it was mashed to pieces. And I sent them an email, and like within a week, I got a replacement package from them, and everything was good.
Wow, that's amazing customer service.
Yeah, they're really good about that.
Your dog actually ate your crowdfunding.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I waited a year and a half for it, and my dog ate it.
Yep, almost instantly.
Yeah, that was almost the shortest time I ever had a dog. You're out of here, buddy.
Yep, and done.
I've had enough. Yeah, it all worked out. And I like, it's good terrain pieces. I've only played the actual game once or twice, but the terrain, it's cardboard, but it puts together well and looks good once it's all built. So I kind of use it as more terrain than playing the game. But
now, is that set up on a grid setup? Because I remember there was angles and stuff.
Yeah, it's grid, and you have a ruler if you want to use a ruler too.
Oh, okay.
For line of sight and stuff like that.
Yeah, the movement.
And then, the previous ones were space related, and this one they're finally doing like a dungeon kind of D&D type scenario game with magic and everything like that. So, kind of combining what they learned from the first, games and throwing it out there for the new magic-oriented game. And it works pretty good. I mean, from what I've read, I'm still reading the rule book. From what I've read, it's pretty brutal. Like the first scenario for this Maladum game is pretty gruesome. You might have a survivor or two, but
oh man, just burn through the players.
Yeah.
Because I've wondered about that. Because actually, like even in that Forbidden Lands game that we were playing a while back, I had a map and I had the characters and I had it all set for you guys to go into this cave, and nope, didn't happen.
None of us went in the cave.
Yeah, it's like I ain't going in there. No way am I going in that cave. I'm not that curious. It's like, right. Okay, moving on. Yeah.
The problem with that was none of us felt very powerful, so like going into the cave, it just that's gonna be where I die, isn't it? No thanks. I'm gonna stay out here where I can see things and not be in the dark. Given a choice now, I'd run into the cave. Let's just do it.
Let's make this happen, folks.
Yep.
Yeah. So I was kind of curious because, like, at least that was like a virtual tabletop, so it wasn't like. Yeah, I spent the time, putting together what it was going to be like inside the cave and where you ultimately were going to be landing. And that's where it's like the theater of the mind. It has a lot more flexibility. You don't get the visual cues that you do from, like miniatures and a map and so forth would provide. But there is something just still a lot of fun of, hey, here's... The map is good, but if something doesn't work out, all that time and effort's just gone. Whereas the player's free will to do whatever they want versus like, I got this lighthouse at the end of this, cliff edge, and I want you guys to go to it because there's some terrifying sounds and the townsfolk don't want that to be there anymore. But they're like, no, I think I'm good. It's like, you can't say that. You guys gotta go.
Tell the townsfolk to ignore it. We're going on.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, just don't go near it. That's simple enough.
Yeah, you should run a game with 5 6th graders and see where they don't go, and all these essential NPCs that they just decide to kill for no reason because they want the shiny sword that he has. It's crazy with 6th graders.
Yeah,
you got to kind of teach them like, no, this is part of the game where you have to discuss things. You just don't go in and slaughter everybody. I look at all the figures and stuff, and it's cool, but then I think, I'm never gonna paint these, right? I mean, come on. So it's like, well, whatever color they are, that's what they are. It's I just don't paint like I used to because I'm getting old.
Yeah, because that's what I was kind of thinking too on my end. It's like, man, that's a lot of time to paint these things. And, do you really, because they're not cheap. So it's not like you can just go like, well, I'll just start painting on this guy who's, that's a $40 miniature and this is a $70 miniature. And it's like, ooh.
Right, yeah, you don't want to, because you have a learning curve and you don't want to paint, you don't want to learn as you go on your special game miniatures. You just got to try it on something else and learn, but eventually, I mean, that's why I look at my HeroScape stuff and it's like, I don't really want to paint these because one, I'm out of practice and they're not going to be good. Two, what if I want to sell this game one day, There's some crappily painted figures that no one wants. I mean, come on.
Yeah, because you had offered at one point to swap out the figures I had in my collection, my original 80s Hero Quest set.
Yeah, your Fimmers.
And, where you had done a lot of experimental painting on them for me.
It's probably still wet.
Yeah, there's it's almost kind of like a crusty, thin layer over glob on the inside.
That offer still stands, by the way.
If you want, unpainted figures, but man, even what makes those figures to me is the fact that they were like, hey, this is a good attempt. These are the paints you had available, even though they were meant for clothing.
Right,
they
yeah.
weren't meant for miniatures, but
you squint real hard, it'll glow in the dark.
Yeah, exactly. But it was so good, and a lot of the characters, it's like, the little, goofy goblins with their, this one had blood on its axe. Ooh.
Ooh, look how creative I am.
Yep. Someone was like, did that get painted? Yeah, I painted the mummies. They were already tan. Yep.
Good
Didn't need
enough.
a whole lot to get them to the state. Man, for some reason it just cracks me up the entire time just looking at those things now. It's just fond memories for certain, but there's also a lot where it's just good, memories associated with it. Whether they're painted well or not doesn't matter. The memories are there.
They're not painted well, but yeah.
I thought they were great.
All right. Well, thanks. You can have them. No.
Don't mind if I do.
This is the Halloween episode.
That it is.
And let me do the intro, and then we can talk about how we're not going to talk about DCeased. I chose DCeased from DC Comics. Tom Taylor, Trevor Hairsine, Stefano Guadiano, that's not Italian, Rain Barreto are all the people who did DCeased. And we will eventually talk about this book. Maybe next time we'll talk about this book. Happy Halloween, everybody.
Trick or treat. That's the trick.
You expected a book for us to review, and instead we just talked. That's what we do. I actually like those episodes better because we just chat away and whatever happens. I did catch myself reading DCeased, and then I read Marvel Zombies because I wanted to compare the two.
Oh.
So you'll hear that the next time we talk about it. I'm not going to go through Marvel Zombies, but I will compare the two when we discuss it, which will be the after Halloween special. So look forward to that. There was another thing I wanted to talk about, but I'm drawing a blank at the moment. So we'll just keep chatting away until I think of it. I'm sure it was something about being grumpy because I'm old. Welcome to the podcast. We're grumpy old men. I can only speak for myself. I'm a grumpy old man. And that's Mike.
Do you remember when The Hunt for Red October came out in theaters? And there was apparently a sequence that everybody's like, oh man, this is life-changing. Like when you saw the sub breach the surface of the water. And we saw it on the big screen, game changer right there. That was it. You didn't need to go to the movies anymore. You saw everything that needed to be seen right then and there. And I was like, oh, I didn't actually see it in the theaters. I was like, oh, you missed out. It's like, did I really miss out? Don't know. But now it's like, I don't think there's much out there that's like absolutely must-see movies in the theater, at least.
Just one ping, please.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's not much I need to see. I've seen the last couple Jurassic Worlds. Well, I've seen every Jurassic whatever movie in the theater, and that to me feels like, okay, big dinosaurs, big theater, right? And
yep.
And I'm okay with that. Even some of the stinkers were still big dinosaurs. Other than that, I'll see a Star Wars movie in the theater. I'm done with theaters. Taking my family and spending $100 just to see a 2-hour movie. Just because everybody needs to eat some popcorn and stuff. It's like, no, I'm good. I can do that at home and pause it to go to the bathroom, and all my kids.
I'm not missing out on a key sequence.
My kids having drank, big old soda, having to go to the bathroom every 10 minutes. And then me having to take them, oh no, I'm starting to whine again. Oh, I'm grumpy.
Oh, pop in the green contacts and call out, Mr. McGee, don't make me angry.
Right. Welcome to the podcast. This is where we're at in the current state of the podcast. We just, I don't know. I got one hand down my pants, just grumpy.
Al
Bundy, just gonna whine about everything.
So a regular fare, huh?
Yeah. I remembered what I was going to talk to you about, but then I forgot about it again. It's 3D printers. Hey, I started printing stuff on a 3D printer.
Okay.
And it's a pain in the butt because it's an older model. Yeah, my assistant producer, Tony, had to help me with some of it. I finally printed a few things. Some things worked out, some things didn't. It's pretty sad when the best thing I printed for myself was some terrain rocks.
Something you gone out to your backyard.
Right, yeah. They turned out pretty good. I was doing some, what Beyblades are?
Yep.
My middle child, the number 3 child, is into Beyblades, and printed some stuff for him, like a special handle and all that stuff, and those turned out wonderful. And then I try to print a figure for mine, and it looks like voodoo doll gone wrong. I don't know, it just doesn't turn out. So I'm still messing around with it. It's been a lot of fun just trying to figure out what I can print and what just doesn't have the detail that I'm going to want. Terrain seems to be my thing. Like, I can do rock. So if anybody needs a rock.
Charlie Brown, apparently.
Yeah. Just send in your request. I'll make one for you. And I'll even have Mike sign it.
Yeah. I got one of the limited edition signed rocks.
Signed rocks. Yes, that's right. And only Mike signed it, not Andy. Just Mike.
Just so you know.
Anyway, 3D printing. Tell me what to print next, because I'm printing. I'm going to print it. And I'll never use the stuff I print, but I'm printing it.
You're printing. Yep. I'm printing food.
I got
Had you, because they had a, like, Mystery Science Theater license plate frame. I've seen some people print those things out. I thought that was kind of fun. You know, it's got the silhouettes pointing at your license plate.
Yeah. I've never seen that, but I can look it up. I mean, there's so many choices. You know,
universe.
Yeah, you could get anything you ever dreamed of,
and more.
And sure, some of it costs some money, and there's a lot of free files that I've been using just because, you know, one, I don't know what I'm doing yet, so I'm not going to pay $20 for something that's not going to turn out because of me, not because of the file. And then two, I don't know how often I will use this stuff, so I don't invest so much, especially because I have an older model and it was given to me to fix up. Assistant producer Tony fixed it up for me. It's how much do I want to invest in this at my age? You know, what am I gonna print?
It'll come. It's like Field of Dreams, man.
Right.
If you print it, ideas will come.
I don't know. Have you dealt with any 3D printers? I mean, you know, you have a lot of background with art and craft and toys and all that stuff. Have you ever owned or used a 3D printer?
Yeah. I've given it a go a couple of times. Unfortunately, every single time it was not a printer of my own. It was like third party. And like I had one for work. That particular printer died. It was a dual color 3D printer. It had two different nozzles, and both motors that were pulling the plastic in, both of them died. And I even took one of the, you know, because the same motor was used to move the X and Y and the Z coordinates. For each of those motors were the same, and it was the same motor that pulled the filament through. And it just one motor gave out, another motor gave out, and then, you know, I was like, you really can't do anything at this point.
Can't fly a plane with one engine.
Yeah, pretty much. And so that was it for that one. And then I had ordered one early on. It was like Kickstarter. And I had ordered a 3D printer for one of the toy companies I worked at. And I think it had arrived just as I was leaving the company. So it was just one of those like really delayed in its shipment. And finally, when it got there, it was like, and see you guys, I'm out.
That's what happened to your CMON Kickstarter too. That just arrived after you left.
yeah, along the same lines. So yeah, it was just really disappointing because like I'm all for it. I love it, you know. And there's also another level where I wanted to jump in on the 3D printing, but like our library has a 3D printer, and one library actually has a resin printer, and they'll print it to make certain it's correct. Yep. Okay. So I just have to give them the file, and then they'll do the printing for me, and I just pay X. You know, I think it's like 10 cents a gram or something like that of plastic. And it's like, maybe I'll go that route. Right. So I don't have the fumes. I don't have the frustration of setting and calibrating, and somebody else is doing that for me. Perfect.
I'm going to call up your library and do it.
Yeah. It's like I have a whole legion of these things printing all at once. So I've seen more and more libraries setting that kind of a maker space up. And one of the weird things of talking about libraries, our library here in Tiny Town has it's called a library of things, and you can check out just about any random item. You want a power washer? Got it. You need a hacksaw? Got it. It's just anything you may not have need of on the regular. You can even check out board games, so that way you don't have to test it out. And we've checked out botanical garden and zoo passes. So we're not even paying admission. You just go to the library and go, hey, I'll take one of those.
Wow.
So, yeah, it's kind of, libraries have really kind of tried to find relevancy and offering a wider variety than just books.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, 3D printing, I would be all over, because one thing I would want to print would be a full-size Tom Servo from Mystery Science Theater. That's one thing I would love to just have a full function. I wouldn't want to do the Crow because there's too much, where Tom Servo can just sit there and look fine on its own. Crow, you need kind of a support stand. But yeah, I would print a full-size, accurate, show accurate Tom Servo. But I've not really found any free files, and I haven't really been doing a lot of looking just because I don't have access to a 3D printer. But that would be probably one of the first things I would attempt to print.
Sure, go big.
My nephew printed, and that was the third 3D printer I had was, I was trying to fix my nephew's, but his wound up being what they call the blue screen of death, and no firmware update or anything can fix it. Everything you find online is it's probably the firmware. Check, update it with this. And it's I've done it, nothing. I thought I had something, only to find out that nope, ultimately I do not.
I'm sure I'll make some more rocks,
Otherwise known as just grabbing the filament and melting in blobs together.
Right, yeah. Sand it down, that's it.
Yep.
Done.
Yeah, because there was some things I was thinking about even doing, because there's a couple of games that I'm missing parts for, and a 3D print would really be perfect.
Yeah, it would.
And it's yep, I could do that one. I could replace this. And they're not that expensive. It's just a matter of maintaining it. I mean, they're pricey enough to keep them from being an impulse buy, but they're not so pricey that it's impossible to purchase. And, I've had some colleagues that have at one point bought multiples so that they can have this one printing this component, this one over here printing a component, and that one printing a component, so that they can assemble them all together at the same time, as opposed to waiting. It's I had 3 machines running so that I could cut my time down to 30% of what it would have been to get all these parts made.
I mean, you could make some money off of that too. We go to shows and stuff, and there's tables with people that spent hours, printing 1,000 dragons or whatever, and selling them. I wonder how much profit they have. But then I just talked to one, and I've got 12 machines going 24 hours a day, and it's I'm out. Done.
Yep, I was so close, but then we just kind of it's how much space they take up, and the fumes, you're not supposed to be, well ventilated, especially if you're doing resin. A friend of mine down the road has one of those glow forge, and that's the laser etching. So it's not true 3D printing, but if you put a plank of wood in there, it will carve and burn its way through a pretty decent sized board. And he was yeah, I've made a bunch of dice towers. And it's oh, that's really cool. It's just those little boxes, and you fit all the slats together to make the dice tower. It's that's really cool. And then there's others who have made these amazingly intricate 3D printed dice towers. And it's oh my gosh. I've seen a few Castle Grayskull dice towers as well. It's like, yeah, I think I would want one of those as well. So, I mean, I've got ideas. If I were ever to get a 3D printer, yeah, there's definitely some ideas I have for what to do.
Speaking of dice towers, when did that become a big deal? When we were younger, back in the old days, we didn't need no dice towers. We rolled right on the table.
Yeah.
And we liked it.
No complaints.
No complaints.
Yeah, I've wondered about that too. Oddly enough, I've had a patent with my name on it for a dice tower.
Do you?
Yeah, and it was for one we had done. It was kind of like a series of games that involved cards and dice. And so everybody would, you divvy out whatever the game was. There was a pack of cards, like a deck of cards that was involved, and then you rolled dice to compare, contrast, add to, exceed, whatever match. It was all self-contained, so that like the package you saw on the shelf was the dice tower itself, with a wrap that went around to say what the game was. You popped open the lid, and then it was like a drawbridge or that would just open up, and that was like your base for your where the dice would come out. Then inside was a pack of cards and instructions. You pull that out, and then you drop the dice on the backside, and it had, I think, 3 ramps built into the backside of this container. Yeah, and I just remember thinking like, wow, and people were like, oh, dice tower, that's really cool. And it has a game to it. It's like, yeah, yep. And we had a series using that same case, so we used that tooling over and over again. We just injected it in different colors, as well as had different games that went with it. And the dice tower really did come in handy in that case, because it was a lot of them involved a community role. And so, meaning that, people would select dice out of the outcome and re-roll a certain number of dice and change up the outcome. And since they were all in the dice tower tray, if they hit another die and it tipped it over, that's the new result. So you wouldn't have gotten that if you had everybody rolled their dice in front of them. So there's some aspects that work to have that dice tower, but yeah, I think it was also that, people just don't have, they didn't want that real estate to, throw their dice across the table or have it lost in the carpet.
Do a Rothley throw.
Yeah, that's clearly at least once or twice a game, that dude would just fling him across the room uncontrolled. Yeah, that was always a classic. So yeah, if anybody needed a dice tower, he did. That is interesting, because it is. I've seen several really, really tall dice towers and then some that are fat that you just dump them in and it barely bounces because there's just acres of space inside. And it's like, I think the dice tower was there also to kind of help prevent people who would just kind of like, do I need to roll high or low? And they'd shake it in their hands until they got the number they wanted and then just turn their hand over.
Right, yeah.
And it's like, oh, look what I got, another 6.
Cheaters.
Yeah, whatever.
I was actually gifted a dice tower from one of my students the year, like he finished the year of D&D at the school, and then the next year he gave me a little gift of a dice tower. That was very cool.
Wow. Oh, that was really generous.
Yep.
And was it a sign, like what did you indicate? It's like, man, I really got to keep these dice to myself, or was it just like, hey, this is an accessory you might want?
Yeah, he was done with the program because he had moved on to high school. So he gifted all the dungeon masters a dice tower. That was really cool.
No, were they 3D printed, or did he purchase them?
I believe they were 3D printed.
The kid's got a future ahead of him.
He does. He's very smart and a good role player.
So with these students, do you find some that you're like, this person's just here as a glorified babysitting?
Oh yeah. There's a number of them that we're just babysitters. And we try to convert them into players, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. This year we got a pretty good group of kids, and I always seem to get all the crazy males. But my My group's a lot of fun. We've only met, I don't know, twice, 3 times, because the school year's really just starting. But we're having a lot of fun. We're running through a campaign called Humblewood, where it's not elves, dwarves, anything like that. You're an animal form, so you're like a raccoon, humanoid, or you're one of the bird type
Okay.
humanoids and stuff. It's kind of neat.
Anthropomorphic, but
So
and
having a lot
with
of fun.
that, is it all still 5th edition, or when whatever they call it? If it's going to be Dungeons and Dragons 1 or D&D 1 or D&D Beyond or D&D Forever or D&D 2024 or whatever it's going to be called, are you going to switch over to that, or are you going to just stick to 5th? Well, that's what everybody's got.
Well, I mean, my personal plan is just to stick with 5th. I mean, I have all the rule books I need. I don't need to switch. We have 2 other game masters who probably will just stick with 5th. Some of the kids, even this year, one of the kids said, I purchased the new rule book, which right now the player's guide's the only one out, but he just bought that. So I think some of the kids might want to convert it as time goes on, but I'm not planning on it.
Whenever there's a new edition, it's kind of like, when do you pivot? Do you kind of wait until it's picked up some steam? Or do you move when it's inevitable and you can't help but move with it? Or do you just kind of like, you know what? I got what I need. I can play the game just fine. It's not. I mean, there's one thing when it's so broken. Let's say like a Thax Zero, when the system is so broken that a new system has to come in and fix it. Then I can see, let's just leave this one behind. But if everybody's in agreement that this is a system that works and everybody's having fun, why move on? There's this point of view that, Hasbro and Wizards of the Coast are like, we got to make money.
Right.
And if you sell one person a book, they're not going to buy another book unless you tell them there's a new system that they have to buy that book again to replace the old book.
Yeah, I mean, I understand it's tough for them. They don't send out new editions if it's not necessary. If the 2 systems are similar enough to where I could play either one with with minimum alterations, new modules or whatever. If I can just modify 3 things and I can still use 5th edition without having to convert it, I'd be good with that. It's not much of a rush to convert it or to get the new system, especially because, I mean, not all the books are out yet anyway. So we'll see how people feel once they just produce the monster manual or something like that, where traditionally you got the 3 books for D&D and Dungeon Master Guide supposedly is written with actual Dungeon Master experience in mind. People who played for a while have offered, here's what you should include on it, and I've heard it's good. So I'll look into that, but I don't need to change rules. I barely go by rules right now. I mean, it's like, okay, roll this. Yeah, that seems okay. You hit.
Yep.
Yeah, that's fine.
Advances the story. Go ahead.
Right. I'm just telling the story. There's other DMs that, follow the rules a lot more. And I used to be like that. I got to follow the rules. But, right. I'd rather just, okay, are you having fun? Great.
Yep.
Let's keep telling it the way we are until we're not having fun, and then we'll change it up.
Yeah, that's always the tough part about when you get to a place of everybody knows the rules and whether they're the correct rules to begin with. It was like, what was it? Monopoly. If people played according to the actual Monopoly rules, the game goes exceptionally fast.
Right.
But people play how they think the game is supposed to be played or how they experienced it as a child. And as a result, it plays poorly.
Right.
And
no one's bothered reading it for 20 years.
Yeah. So it's like, and same with, a lot of these, games where it's like, I got the general idea of what the game is supposed to be about. Let's run with what my general idea is. I'd rather do that than go a deep dive into the minutia of like, well, you do understand that gravity affects things at different rates. So falling damage for a half ogre is going to have more of an impact than a gnome's falling damage. And it's like, what? It's like, you've gone way too far over into the rules.
Just tell me what to roll. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all I need to know.
Have you found that the kids prefer just rolling and what happens? What happens? I got to roll the dice. I got to roll the dice. Or are they more about like that rolling is secondary because they just want to, have their characters say what they're doing or have a conversation, and I don't want to roll. I would want to actually, ROLL versus I want to ROLE.
Mostly my group, they just like to roll and kill stuff.
The murder hobos.
Kinda. I mean, I'm trying to get them, especially this year, my group, they seem to have two, like I have 5 kids. 2 of them want to kill everything in sight, and then 2 of them will role play, ROLE, and then the other one's still learning, so he hasn't decided yet. So, and you can tell the kids that have done this now for a year or 2 or 3, they've grown. I'm so proud of them, and and they'll try different things. They even like the last 2 years, I've had parents go, before D&D, they had a hard time conceptualizing images and stuff like that, and this has really helped them branch out using their imagination and stuff. So I think I'm breaking in some kids to just relaxing and having some fun.
Yep, they're tapping into the more base level imaginations, and
I'm doing my part.
yeah. I've seen more and more material out there, and it's, of course, as all of our devices are listening to everything that's being said or even thought about at this point. I've seen quite a few where it is like the benefits of Dungeons and Dragons in the classroom, and just how. And there's like one that kind of went viral as far as a story about an autistic child who didn't fit in any setting except when they went and got introduced to Dungeons and Dragons, and that made that child like they were accepted in the group, they were a participant in the group, and it somehow really, really resonated. And it was like this like tear-jerking emotional tale about the impact that had on that child's life, and how that no one else he was the outcast everywhere else, but this was the one place that he actually excelled, and it changed the direction of that child and obviously the rest of the families.
As he murdered them in their sleep.
Yeah. Man,
I said to kill you with a knife.
Yeah. I still think about that terrible Tom Hanks film. And not just his last several, but the one of his very early ones was that made-for-TV Mazes and Monsters. And it was all during the satanic panic of like Dungeons and Dragons is out to consume your child's soul. And it was like, okay. And I do remember, people calling out aspects of it. It's like, did you know that there was a hit location that if you roll a certain percentage, it could say what body part got hit? And it could have been the head. It could have been someone's heart. And you're like, well, yeah, that's kind of the point of battle.
Yeah.
But these are all rules, as in most cases, you could take or leave. If you didn't want to do that, you didn't have to do that.
Right. We were playing all the time. And our mutual friend Dave, I wasn't allowed to play D&D with him for like 6 months while his parents decided whether or not D&D was good for him or not.
Oh, yeah. And I guess it was Michigan State, of all places. I think that's where that student, they most attributed the evil influences of the game. Either went missing or he had killed somebody. I don't remember the exact outcome of it. But there was some dramatic, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this happened. Even the news reporters were saying, like, yeah, he was a big fan of Dungeons & Dragons and did a lot of drugs.
Right, yeah.
And it was like, so the blame went purely on the Dungeons & Dragons.
Yep.
Had a lot of problems at home, had drugs, and had,
psychedelic mushrooms and
yeah,
D&D.
had done all sorts of other things. But nope, none of those. Let's downplay that and just really hype up. It's got to be this Dungeons and/or Dragons.
Right.
So with the students you have, and some of them being like recurring and so forth, do they keep their character year after year, or do they start fresh every semester or every year?
Well, last year it was the whole year, so they kept their characters. This year we're trying something new where we do a different adventure every trimester.
Oh, okay.
So, like we'll do this Humblewood for this try, and then next one we probably will do just regular old D&D, and they'll make new characters and stuff. Third try we'll try something else. I might even do a Star Wars trimester. I don't know. Of course, if they love this, Humblewood or whatever, we'll probably bring it on. It depends if we get new players next try or not. Like if the same kids stick with it, then we might stick with it too. But we'll see.
Yeah, because I kind of wonder, like, what do you get kids that get attached to their character, and then you're like, we're done. It's like I just was only 5 points away from advancing my character to the next level, or and you're yanking the right out from underneath of them.
That kind of happened last year. They were just starting to level up, and the year was over. But we try, don't tell them, but we try not to kill them in the game, so so they don't get upset. And we don't know what their personal life is. We're just trying to have them have fun, and maybe show them what is possible for D&D. And what you can do. They're not, except for a couple, they're not super advanced players, but they're young. I wasn't either. I was a hack and slash until last year. I mean, come on,
Have you had any of them that actually had stepped up to the plate and it's like, I will draw my character?
Yeah, they all draw their own character.
Oh.
And they're as good as you think they are. There's one or two artists in there. I'm not saying all of them, but for the most part, they draw like I do, and that's not very good at all. They all want dragon pens.
Oh, the obsession,
right?
Yeah. Well, if Billy gets one, I'm going to get one, but mine's going to be bigger and meaner.
Yeah. Oh, I went through that all last year about. How come his dragon can breathe fire, but mine can't? And why can he ride that one? Why does he even have a dragon? I don't have a dragon. And if you have D&D stories, or if you have a Halloween story that we can tell, the next episode, the after Halloween episode, let us know. Our webpage is, and this is why I love comics podcast.buzzsprout.com. Our email is, and this is why I love comics @gmail.com. You can join us on the X and this is why L1. We're on the Facebook, and we have updated schedules and all this kind of stuff. I might put a contest out there soon. I don't know. I got to talk to Mike about it. But we're and this is why I love comics podcast. We're on the TikTok. We are Why I Love Comics podcast. Join us there. We're still gathering followers, so you can be one of them. Thanks to our supporters and friends of the show. Check out Jamie's YouTube show at JHood Comics. Thanks to producer Katie, assistant producer Tony, co-hosts Matt 2.0, Kevin, Jamie, Nick, and Matt 10.0 for helping us out with the show.
Okay, until next time, dear listener.
If you want us to talk about DCeased, which we will next time, and you haven't read it, you still have time. You can still read it. And I'm going to, I'll give you a hint about the book. I liked it a lot. There. Okay, I said it.
Well, we'll have some discussions, and we'll see where that stands afterwards.
All right. Thanks to Thunder Chicken for the tunes. Check them out on Spotify. Links are in the show notes. For the podcast, I'm Andy.
And I'm Mike.
And we'll talk to you later.
Ba-doom, boom. And knowing's half the battle.
Now that Mike's gone. I'm going to keep that in, by the way.
That's just going to be like the end of it. After Thunder Chicken rolls, you just hear the delicate tones of the drawn out, kind of like the test pattern after the television network goes off the air.